Welcome to part number 27, yes, 27 of Midtown Madness 3, where we've now just got 5 more checkpoint races to go in Paris until we're, well, finished with Paris for essentially good.
Hon.
Hooray.
Yes.
The artwork looks so bad. The tree from that looks like it was made out of Play-Doh strung out together, and the moon looked like it was fucking high.
I'm sorry, what?
Welcome to Midtown Madness. That's all I can really tell you.
All I can say is I'm confused. Anyways, so we're driving some Formula cars at night.
Oh my god! Did Madeline... I think I just saw Madeline just fucking punch a van.
Hold on.
Might have.
You probably speared it,
Probably.
to be honest.
Touch.
Yeah, don't touch.
Don't touch.
Boop.
And the touch is already happening,
boop.
and it's just... So we're just watching Formula bumper cars right now.
Essentially.
The frickin' red card.
Might be
Do not-
pushing Matilda there a
Wow,
little bit
you're
as well.
bullying!
I mean, in this game, you kind of have to. It's kind of part of
Do
the
not-
nature of the game. I mean, it
do-
is madness after all.
But you're
Really?
doing Formula 1, you're not supposed to touch the other car. What are you do? That's like
Yeah,
a
don't you
red
know that's
card or
messing you up?
something.
Don't you know
wanna
this
become
is mid-
Pastor Maldonado?
Don't you know this is Midtown Madness and that rule doesn't apply? I mean, am I wrong here?
The only rule that applies in
Yes.
this game is rubber physics.
That is true.
I'll give you a rule.
So wait, your license plate reads new level. What happened to the old one?
That
You
is
forgot to change it back.
that's a somewhat inside. I say somewhat, but it's on video. It's a bit of, but it's somewhat of an inside joke with Scott. Or Zero Ducks Given. Just, I guess at the time we were kind of just making a joke with like new level. Because he used it in a video. He said it a few times, and every time, like the first time it just kind of happened, and then the second time it just cuts to a little stamp that says "cool fucking joke." Okay, and it's just Blink 182's All the Small Things sped up in the background.
Oh.
So he
That
says
sounds
it.
like an interesting
He says
line.
it a third time, and it cuts back to again "cool fucking joke," and it's that same song now sped up even faster.
Oh my god, I need to see this.
Level up.
And frankly, I think your viewers need to see this too. Leave a link in the description.
I might. I mean, everyone should go watch Scott. He does good things, like he makes funny corruptions, and also just has amusing streams when even not corrupting. He does things that are amusing. Go watch Scott.
I want to find out more. I'm honestly trying to find
And
out
he'll-
more about
he'll-
the guy. So I
he'll get
wanted
the-
following his Twitch and YouTube last night, and
Yeah.
I found out he's got a Discord too.
Not me.
Oh shit! Did I? Oh, I forgot to get rid of another thing. Fuck.
Oops.
Yeah,
Stop
I'm
being
getting.
so lazy fuck.
Shut up.
I thought I'm supposed
Oh,
to be
well.
the old man.
But yeah. Anyways. Look,
We're deciding that we're going to change it up and use car number 118. I thought the color changed with the rest of the car for a moment there.
well,
Before it's touched
well,
the 182.
Activate the speed.
Well, at least I kind of fixed the rest of it. It was just that little bit of showing that, I suppose. Huh? Anyways, but yeah, he's gonna get this if he ever watches this, which I kind of doubt it. But hey, you all should go subscribe to Scott, the young up and comer, with his now 12,000 subscribers. He's a new star. Go give him some love.
Up and comer, 12,000 subscribers.
Again,
Yeah.
basically that's in reference to one of his friends. He has a friend. I think his YouTube name is Killy Sunt, and he basically had like 5-digit subscribers, but Scott's channel kind of blew up, and recently he's been gaining more subscribers, and he's recently overtaken him now. So as a joke, he's like, go subscribe to Killy Sunt, the young up and comer with 11,500 subscribers, because Scott had 12,000.
Awesome.
Scott's full of interesting memes. This is basically started to sound like the Scott appreciation part of the video.
That's gonna be the
Scott
name of this.
appreciate-
That's gonna be the name of this video.
The Scott Appreciation Day.
If I remember to call it that.
Okay, so I do have to ask something. You seem to be driving the stock car better than the Formula car. Does this car handle better?
I mean,
Yes or no?
They all panel bad, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay, which one is less bad?
I'm gonna be honest. They're kind of the same. They're not really that different.
Okay, good. So I don't have to unsubscribe for this game having better physics on a stock car than a Formula car.
It's just a case of this one is admittedly a little bit easier because there seems to be less traffic and just less things in the way.
What are you talking about? Freaking NASCAR is better than Formula 1.
Oh!
They actually, like, pass. NASCAR actually has passing.
Well, I'm only thinking strictly in terms of the vehicles right now. I'm not well versed in motorsport.
I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy who says both sports were better back in my day.
No, I think that's fairly accurate. That's why there is a freaking.
Chill
That's
out
why there's
for-
a new. That's why there's a new DLC vehicle for Race Room where it has modern aerodynamics and the back in my day engine available.
Oh,
Hell
nice.
now. That
Not
sounds
even-
amazing.
Not even
mean-
kidding. It's a V10 in a modern body, and I believe I saw Formid and Mako go
I'll put it this way.
crazy over it.
One of the only things I think the modern days of NASCAR and Formula 1 does better than back then is safety. Like,
Well, yes, because everything must be safe. We're gonna put duct tape and bubble wrap in every little orifice of the vehicle.
no, we're
can,
just gonna.
or every.
Every driver is just from now on just gonna wear like massive pillows around them and then just have a blanket around it for an extra layer of safety.
Soon, this sport will be dominated by vehicles with crash test dummies in the seats instead of driving vehicles.
We have
and because
modern day bed racing.
modern day bed racing, and because Screw Logic, instead of making the crash test dummies remote controlled, we're just gonna make them sentient.
And because fuck Brian France.
Oh God. Wait, what? Who?
Brian France is like basically the head guy of NASCAR.
And yet we're in.
And boy is he bad.
You do realize that if that's actually his name, such a bad joke could be made considering this game's setting.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna say
that
it.
is his name though, Brian France.
Oh God, this is so wrong. This is so very
Brian-
wrong.
Wrong freaking.
He should French kiss the wall, Kappa.
But yeah, Brian France is the reason NASCAR's point system is fucked. Let me explain, basically, for those who don't know. Originally, the way the point system used to work back in the day was whoever... just like any other kind of racing championship, whoever had the most points at the end was the winner. And the champion, basically.
Yes.
The problem was that got Brian France all upsetty was in 2003, the Winston Cup champion, which was the last year Winston was the sponsor because, you know, Winston cigarettes kind of can't really be doing that anymore. The champion in 2003 was Matt Kenseth.
Yeah.
And if you look at how he did throughout the season, it's easy to see why he was the champion. The problem was, what got him all upset was the fact that Kenseth was the champion, although despite winning only one race.
Well done.
So basically, they're trying to make it so that you have to win as many races as you can. What?
No, let me go into because I wasn't done. So because here's the thing, because there were drivers who had multiple wins and didn't get the championship because of they didn't have as consistent finishes or still even high position finishes like Kenseth did. I think Ryan Newman had multiple wins, 6 or 8 that year. I can't even remember. And he didn't win the championship because he was too inconsistent throughout the season. But it was that whole idea that I guess really set him off. He decided to change it in 2004, where if you won a race before what they call the chase for the cup, you would get put into the chase. After a certain point, if you have either won a race or have had enough or have made enough points to get it to qualify, basically by the time you get into the chase, your points get reset, so everyone starts with the same amount of points, and it works like a playoff system where drivers will get eliminated depending on how they do.
So let me get this straight.
Hold on, this was the 2014 chase.
Oh,
Revamp.
Was it not always like that?
No.
You said 2003 and 2004, so.
The 2004 was the chase where it's like you have like the points reset at 10 races before the season concludes.
Oh, okay. So basically, back then it was similar to that, just there was no playoff.
There was no playoffs.
It was just a
But,
preset
but
of
it
points.
wasn't a win you're in thing. It was just the most points get into the chase. Like
So
off, like,
hold on.
10.
So let me see if I got this straight. They went from a traditional race championship system, which rewards consistent high finishes, to a tournament system where roughly the most amount of high finishes will win hands down. No, it's okay. I said that wrong, but you know what I mean by tournament system, right?
Well, I guess
like a knockout tournament.
Well,
Here's the deal with that, with the chase that we have now. Martin Truex Jr. I believe last year, he won like God knows how, like four races. Been the most consistent driver, hands down, and lost the championship in like the second round. It was at Talladega where he blew an engine and pretty much lost the whole championship running.
Yeah. That was,
I don't understand. That is so lame.
It's stupid. Thank you for correcting me though, Scotian. But yeah, I guess 2003 to 2013 basically. I'm guessing, unless there were other changes.
2004 to 2013. It was a chase where like top 10, I believe in 2012 it was changed to top 12.
Yeah.
Where like they had these two wild card positions where you have the most wins get those two wild card positions.
Yeah.
But it was like top 10 where the top 10 gets into the chase, and the points are reset.
Yes.
And then in 2013 2014 it was changed to that awful playoff system.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can understand the mentality behind this. As far as I'm able to gather, they're treating NASCAR not as a motorsport, but rather as a spectator sport. Exactly, a spectator sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Frankly, that's bullshit.
Which is, it is, because the thing is like there, except for maybe like 2 or 3, I can't even remember now. Everyone who's won the championship from that system, except for a few of those seasons, they would not have won the championship if it was still done the original format.
Here's the thing though. Ryan Newman in 2014 came about at,
that was not your best move in this mission, was it?
No, it was not.
Ryan Newman came about a second off of winning the championship but he had to win one race.
Yeah.
And he didn't even do that well in the whole season.
Yeah.
That
is honestly bullshit, and I feel like something like this
that is why I wanted Ryan Newman to win the championship, to prove Brian France he's a load of shit.
He is. Does this even reward the drivers in any way? It seems incredibly unfair to the drivers competing in something like this.
Because here's the thing I want to mention too. Jimmy Johnson, of course, everyone knows who he is. Obviously, he's the third driver in NASCAR history to win 7 championships or 7 cups. The thing is, he's won all 7 of those since since the whole chase system / playoff system came into effect.
But what is his position in a traditional sense? How consistent is he?
In traditional sense, he would have only been, I think, a 3-time champion.
Oh my god, I'm just like holding my microphone in my hand and I want to beat myself with it.
Here's another thing too. there actually would have been a driver who could have had 7 championships, just like Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt, who got it through the original points method. There would have been a third driver if they kept it like that, and that would have been Jeff Gordon. He basically was robbed out of 3 championships, 3 more championships, just because of the way that system worked.
That's a shame, because I know for a fact he's a good driver. I'm not even all that into motorsports, and I know he's a good driver.
Everyone knew Jeff Gordon was a good driver. There was a reason he won 93 races in his career.
And there's a problem, and that's probably a reason why Mr. France was just like, nope, I'm done.
It was awful, because I remember too that I think it was the first year of the playoff thing, where he was just on a fucking tear that season. It looked like it was his last
2014.
Yeah, the whole Drive for 5 thing.
He won like 6 races that whole season.
He was on a tear, and if the original system was in effect, he would have won the championship, because not only was he winning a lot of races, he was finishing strongly throughout the season. And
as a good driver should.
Yeah, and just because he didn't do as well as some of the other drivers that were in the chase when they introduced that playoff thing, he was eliminated, and he couldn't win the championship.
Because that one fateful night in Texas.
What are some of the classical are there known opinions for some of the more traditional drivers, the ones that have actually gone through this? Like, what do they think of this?
They're so far up with Brian France's ass that if they say anything that's bad about it, they'll get fined $250,000.
Yeah, they can't really say anything about it, because if they do, it could cost some money. That's how bad the situation is.
So old winners, competitors who won the original format, legendary drivers are not allowed to speak against him, or they will be fined.
Yeah, Tony Stewart tried that with safety regulations. But before he came back after his injury.
How do you get fined for saying I don't like something? Jesus Christ.
You sign a contract saying that you will not badmouth something.
Hold on, let me get I'm gonna get an article.
Well, I'm thinking of people who might have had, if there is a contract, I'm thinking of people who where that might have expired. You know what I mean? But
another thing too is a driver that I always really liked, Carl Edwards, a guy who recently retired.
I heard of that.
Yeah, he would have been a two-time champion if they had the original system. And I feel so bad for the guy, because Edwards was a really likable guy, and just because of that system, it killed his chances of being able to hold what would have been, let me see, what was the first, yeah, it would have been the Sprint Cup by then. Of course, now the Monster Energy Cup.
That's a legitimate shame. I feel bad for the guy. This is so convoluted and painful, and what kind of driver does it even reward, if I'm being honest? Because I don't understand, the only thing I really understand was the old championship system. The way the chase was described, it was just, you can do as well as you want you can do as well as possible, and then everything gets reset, and then it's a playoff system.
Yeah.
But okay, how does this playoff system work? Because doesn't it have to have every car on the grid, and a playoff is usually like a tournament?
Yep. You start out with 16 drivers. After three races, the points get reset, and now it's back down to 10. No, it's down 4 drivers, so it's 12. Another one, it's 8. Then it's 4.
Yep.
But there's something I still don't understand. You said the points are reset, so doesn't that still technically?
Here's what it is.
The points are reset for every round.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then that's bullshit.
When the chase begins.
To an extent,
yeah, when the chase begins, the people who get in the chase, they all start with the same amount of points.
Except for the ones that win, they get bonus points.
Yeah.
They get bonus points.
Yep.
Yeah. Only for the first round, they get 3.
Can I just say, by the way, I like how we've been talking about this so much, we kind of stopped talking about the game.
No, I tried to get back onto the game. I did point out things that happened to you in the game.
Yeah, I know you did.
there's some things that I do want to comment on. For example, the fact that everything just looks, I know it's snow, but it just looks like black and white film noir, which looks like tints of red, and it's just like, well, there's a little bit of green there, but it
yeah, that was basically like the grand race went throughout the entirety of Paris. So it took nearly 5 minutes to finish 10 checkpoints because of it.
Congratulations! This conversation was so passionate, it just made the time fly.
Yes.
You're such a.
Hey, another part done.
And one other thing too, because I know it would have made people happy, but which would probably make them disappointed. If the original system was still in effect, neither Kurt or Kyle Busch would have had their championships. And with that, we'll see you in the next part where we'll start the Washington checkpoint races.
You're such a lovely conversationalist.